And oh, that's a bit of a surprise for me that Ek0p first picked the Hunter for Powder for me.
He actually vetoed the Druid, and I think that may have been because I 3-0'd him with Druid yesterday. So he started out with vetoing Hunter against me, and then lost 3-0 against the Druid, and so he has been vetoing Druid non-stop ever since.
But it is really interesting to see that he came into the strategy with banning Hunter first, but he changed it now to the Hunter. So, but yeah, with a Priest, you still have a okay matchup. You can win this matchup if you. I don't know if this is a Death Rattle Priest or if it is like a Control Priest, but if you have the right combos, this match is, I think, especially the Control Priest with the coin, it's really favored in my opinion.
I think it's slightly favored for Priest, definitely, but can go either way depending. I think it's a really a big advantage to have the coin as Ek0p, you know. So I really like his position here. Not the best hand for Powder, only a Leper Gnome to begin with, and if Ek0p can deal with that, it's going to be quite rough.
Oh, and we see that it is like he has the Wild Pyromance already, and with the coin that can be, it can really help Ek0p to just stall into some later turns, and Shadow Madness is already a really good response if you can't control the board.
We see a tracking here, not quite an interesting play. I think this is most likely some sort of snake trap variant. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking now. It looks like okay, he's going for the tracking. Now we see more of his deck. Okay, he's
Haunted Creeper, Freezing Trap, Web Spinner.
Do you go for the Web Spinner just to have a play? You have 1 mana left.
I think so, yeah, for sure. You can go Eaglehorn Board on the following turn, and Eaglehorn Thornbow is quite strong against those Blade Masters, etc. You know.
It's a bit of a rough start for him. Like you really against the Priest, you really want cards like an Mad Scientist that has a okay body. It gives a free trap out. Oh, he's even going for the Freezing Trap. He probably is scared for like that he can clear the board really easily with all the 1 HP minions, and decides to just play a trap into the maybe the Dark Cultist or Injured Blade Master for next turn.
Really an interesting play here. But yeah, it comes down to a lot of things. I think going first, you really need a lot of draw to sustain yourself. I mean, Eaglethorn Bow getting procs on the trap obviously helps as well, but this is very rough for Powder. I would actually give that to Ek0p, and a huge draw from him. Powered Shield and Holy Smite.
Wow. Are you already going for it? Like, the Pyromancer is such a card that is just so important in this matchup, and with only a Leper Gnome on board, you can play Pyromancer with Powered Shield, but I feel like you want to save that combo with a coin and with the Holy. You have so many responses now.
I actually like the Dark Cultist coin Holy Smite here. It gives him a really solid board with the possibility of Pyromancer on the following turn without it getting killed by the...
And maybe not even use the coin. Oh wow, that's greedy.
That's
Double Mad Scientist, wow.
I think he's taking like unnecessary risk here, Ek0p, kinda. But it's, I mean...
Yeah, it's really rough for Powder. Like, before turn 4, you really want to have a board, and with only the Leper Gnome on the board on turn 4.
Playing a Freezing Trap. I think Web Spinner Hero Power here is the right call, but it's very hard to say.
I think he wants to go, like, he has 2 really good 5-drops. He just wants to get the Freezing Trap maybe out, so he can just make a really good 5-drop next turn.
I think something to consider here is the possibility of Shadow Madness and those Cabal Shadow Priest on those crucial minions like the Web Spinner and the Loot Taurus. If you can deny a draw from a Hunter going first, that's just absolutely huge, because as soon as Hunter is in top deck mode, it's gonna get pretty rough unless the Priest is almost dead, you know.
I really like that Powder doesn't attack with the bow yet. There is no really reason to attack the face, and he knows that the trap won't get triggered this turn, so he just keeps his weapon and can just trade with one of the minions now if he really wants.
Yeah, it's true, and it's unlikely that Ek0p is actually going to be running any sort of Hydration Jones or Ooze or anything like that, so it's a good play for sure. What do you think about this, going for the Leper Gnome into the Mad Scientist? I think personally I would have favored going killing the Mad Scientist with a bow and going Leper Gnome to face. What do you think about that?
I think he really wants to get some tempo in the game and get an extra charge on the bow. I'm not sure if it's the right play, but yeah, you want him to trigger the Freezing Trap to just get extra tempo. He has a kill command in hand, and he probably won't even play the Web Spinner. He will maybe just use it as a 1 mana piece to get a really good kill command of it. Yeah, with a low tap he has a really good follow-up. It will really deny Ek0p's play next turn with all his spells in the hand.
But I mean, if you think about the option of keeping the Leper Gnome alive there, I think with that, it gets a lot more scary with the Lothep, because he would absolutely have to clear, you know, and he can't cast any spells with Lothep on the board. But this is, I don't know, I feel like Ek0p is giving him more chances than, you know, he could have. This is most likely gonna go to what? Yeah.
Okay, now Ek0p starts to play a bit for the board control now. He doesn't attack, what is interesting. He just doesn't want to give the. I totally agree with that play. Like, there is no reason to attack it. You know, it's a. All the traps were bad, and it only gives him a free charge on the bow.
But he kind of gave up board control by playing a bit passive and going for the Thought Tail earlier. So I feel like he's in a rough position now.
Yeah, and the low tap with all these spells in the hand, man.
I think, yeah, dropping the Undertaker and Raptor, getting, like, when I'm playing against Priestess Hunter, I really want to get those early minions with low health and low attack out early, so they don't get stolen or Shadow Madness.
Now you played the low tap. There's no reason to keep your Undertaker. It defends him really well. Okay, there's the Arcanine. But yeah, you can't play the Circle now. Wow, that's the low tap is doing the work, man. Otherwise, he had such a good clear on the board, and still the trap is still out.
I think a likely scenario here will be attacking with no share cleric, then trading both the minions. Well, only trading the Mad Scientist, but attacking with the Dark Oldest into the. Okay, so he can trade the cleric for the trap. He can go for the.
But he still doesn't know what the trap is. Like, he can still think it's. Oh no! If it is a Snake Man, its board is getting so big. That is his biggest issue. But I think he has to attack in some way. Like, what can he do if he does the attack here? Then he just passes his turn and he gets. I think it's already lethal.
I kind of like the Arcanine attacking the Undertaker here, trading both the minions into the Belcher. I think it's the best scenario here. I mean, if you go for Pyromancer, you can't cast any spells anyway, and you're kind of giving up a huge board clear for later turns. But this is, yeah, I feel like.
I think he has to go for the risk now, and he needs to attack. Otherwise, he's just dead. So he has no other option.
Absolutely. Would you use the hero power on the Belcher or trade in with the Mad Scientist there?
I think you. Oh, is he not gonna attack at all?
He has to attack, but it's. I don't know.
I don't think. Wow. How much damage is this, man? With Unleash, with Kill Command, I think this is lethal. This is
I don't get what's going on
12. Here. Yeah, this is more than lethal.
And Ek0p feels kind of flustered here.
He had it felt like he had all the tools to get the board control against the Priest with the Pyromancer early, with the Shadow Madness, even Circle in the hand and Holy Smite, every Power World shield. But yeah, he played it a bit too carefully. He just had to go for the plays a bit earlier. White Powder didn't have a really good start. It was a bit slow, no really minions early, so
yeah,
really worth how this matchup went, in my opinion. Yeah, the ghouls, that are the cards where you're looking for now in Mulligan. And as we said, he is going with the warrior, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah, he's an excellent warrior player, so I think playing against him, you know, with Hunter is very scary. He also has a great skill of being able to draw the fiery Winax, you know, in the starting hand. But yeah, I think we'll definitely be going into.
Powder is not happy with this hand, man. Against the warrior, and you need the early game, and this is really rough. Okay, that's at least a decent draw for turn 2.
But quite a strong turn here. Do you think he coins out the Armor Smith? Oh, and the Fiery Warx.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. This could not be better for Ek0p. Also the Rag, if you think about it, the Rag is probably the best counter here. Like, Rag and Alex Strauss are really what you want to play against Hunter.
Yeah, you don't want them in the starting end, but yeah. But yeah, the Cruel Taskmaster for all the 1 HP minions, the Armor Smith already out. The X in the.
Do you think he goes for the Cruel Taskmaster trade here, or the Fiery Winax?
I think you go for the Cruel Taskmaster, maybe, to be honest. Otherwise, there you cleared it, but then the Armor Smith gets back in the board, and you really want to have the Cruel Taskmaster maybe back in your hand.
Oh yeah, he actually draw an Acolyte of Pain, so I think he's gonna go for the axe here, saving the Acolyte for the combo.
That makes a bit sense, but it's like you still clear the Mad Scientist, but it's still really annoying because. If there will be a freezing trap out, your Armor Smith will go back in your hand, and that's not what you want. I think the Cruel Taskmaster is the right play. He doesn't need the card draw for the Acolyte. He can just trade with the Cruel Taskmaster, get 2 minions on the board, and
yeah, this is a tough call, and he's really taking his time. I think this is a good position. I mean, this is a very important play, and he does go for the axe. I think. Oh wait, he's hovering over it again and again.
It's really like, yeah, I called it, like, in this situation, I called agree with both plays. Both plays are okay. It's just, maybe he agrees with, yeah, okay, Armor Smith goes back in the, okay. But this is the thing I said, like, now he doesn't have him board anymore. But yeah, with the X out at turn 3, the best thing what can come is Companion.
I think a few things to consider here for the Fire Warlock's plays. He also has another weapon, and he has an Acolyte of Pain that will pair greatly with the Taskmaster. I think it's the right call.
Do you think the Huffer is the worst companion that he could get now? It gets 8 damage out, but it's really good. But
I think it's actually the best if you think about it, because he could have Cruel Taskmastered the other two, you know, for a lot less damage. And with his Ek0p's hand, you know, his only real option of dying here is some,
into an Acolyte. That's like the worst feeling.
And we see Powder here talking a bit to himself and really shaking his head. He's not happy with that draw there.
But his start is really rough. Like, you really want your Undertakers in your start. You want some other 1-drops to stack your Undertaker. But I don't even think it will help him in this early stage, because Ek0p had the answers he needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, I mean, the Belcher is such a tough play here. If we see the Belcher, he will just get traded into. But you have to remember, even though Ek0p is getting great trades, he's also using a lot of health here.
Yeah, but yeah, the Belcher's not even a good play, man. Then he just trades with the weapon, and he gets double quadra from the Acolyte, because he can trade into the slime.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't even, I think, yeah, wow.
This
Do
is
you
really
freezing trap this just to?
I don't think you can. You need it, I think, for the bigger targets. But there's no right play here. I think actually.
Yeah, you see that face from Powder. He's thinking like, I don't have a lot of options, and every play is just bad. Yeah, maybe just Hunter's Market to
I think it's the right call here. Yeah. I wonder. I think
you attack first now. Just like, otherwise it dies to your own weapon. So why not attack first?
Oof, Ascension. This couldn't get any better. Alex Vasa Ascension, like every single card.
All the towns, man, and 3 cards only in Powder's hand. He really needs a high main to maybe get back into the game, but he will still be really behind, even if he gets the high main next turn.
Yeah, some sort of web spinner King Crush is needed here. I think, you know, I have to pull a Kalde here to get back Powder will. But yeah, we see a Ghoul as well. I mean, Ek0p has every you know, card that he needs here to win this match.
Wow, look these towns, man. The Ghoul is Sanjin and Belcher. How can the Hunter get rid of that, man? He is getting a bit low with 15, but I don't think he's really scared on his lives already.
No, not at all. He play a Belcher here, and there's little Powder can do here.
Well, he can freezing trap, but I don't think. Oh, there's the high main.
Finally,
wow.
Yeah. Do you go for the high main right away? I think the freezing trap is better here to begin with.
Yeah, but I don't think Ek0p will attack. Like,
not
there's no reason to attack if you have a Belcher on board against the Hunter.
But that at least gives him a turn here, you know.
Yeah.
So, what
and he's getting low. Like, we are really saying Ek0p is ahead, but he is at 13 lives, so it starts to get really scary for him.
But I'm feeling if he actually plays carefully here, he should take this. But you know, not a lot can go wrong here. For you know, we have to think about it. He actually, you know, Powder's at 29 life. It will take him a few turns to get it.
It's all about the board control. He only has to go for the board control. Then he just wins this game. But he just has to be really careful with his life now.
But with a Hunter here going first, you have about 7 or 8 turns until you just start top decking, and then you have to have your kill command for the lethal, or you're just out.
Okay, he's gonna. Okay, this is an interesting play, and I agree with it. Like, oh wow, second high main. Man, but Ek0p will get a lot of armor if Powder is gonna start attack. Do you want to attack? Like, you want the freezing trap for the Belcher, but you can't get rid of the armor strap. You can't get rid of the Gall. So it's a really bad moment to attack, and you have to play your high main now. You need to have a minion on board.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting that he is picking one Savannah in golden and one in non-golden. I've been talking about this with my teammates a bit, and it's a good, it's a good idea to keep track of, what you played so far more easily. If you had them, one in golden and one not in golden, I guess. But what we're gonna see here, a shield block, just what he needs. This is just couldn't be better here for Ek0p.
Yeah, but I don't think you shield block this turn already. It's an answer you need maybe later in the stage. Okay, he's just first getting luck. If it was a snake trap, it was actually really good for Ek0p because he had the ghoul on the board and the snakes will do just nothing. And now now he can start to clear at least the small minions already.
I wonder if he'll go for the Sentient here. I mean, he could technically go.
Ascension feels really weak into an high main because it's just a free kill, but
yeah, he kind of wants to set up for next turn rag here. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, but rag into an high main is like, even if it kills the high main, there will still be two 2/2s, but it's also not really good.
He's taking all his time here.
Yeah,
the mana is
imagine if Powder has an all or something, like wow, but that is just lethal. It's like, yeah, that's lethal. But yeah, he starts to get some armor now. I should even attack into the 1/2 spider to just get 1 armor more.
I wonder if he actually runs Leroy here. Powder does. I'm not sure. Go see a shield block and a Sentient, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing it care. Like, you also have to be careful for a card like an all in this deck. You just put the. You can also go for kill and command the armor smith now. He gets a lot of armor, but I don't think that is that's just not worth it. And it's also a good finisher. Do you just play your? I think Powder knows, but like, we know Ek0p plays with double brawl, and we know it's not in a hand, but you have to take care of that. Like,
he must have seen it, I think, but he just can't afford to play passive here. You know, I mean, Ek0p's armor is going up constantly here. But will he play the weapon? I think he has to, as well. I must say, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I think he should have gone the high main.
Yeah, he clearly uses his kill command now for the Senju, what is a bit.
I think he's that far behind Powder is that, you know, he needed to risk Ek0p not having the brawl, which he doesn't have the brawl. But yeah, top decking and execute, another excellent draw, wow. Do you play double ghoul here? What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, with double ghoul he just clears the whole board and he gets a lot of armor. Like, you just execute the high main here. You kill the spider with your 1/1, or even with the armor smith, it's only better.
Yeah,
and you play double ghoul, and what can he do? Like, he has 1 card in a hand.
And it's not a lot of answers to that, really.
And he will get so much armor. Like, 2 ghouls, the armor smith still on board. It gets double proc. Wow.
Nothing except maybe double owl that will save him there, but even then, 21 health. We're gonna see him at potentially 23, 4, or 5 health on the following turn. Should be quite sick here. And of course, Ek0p
I think you go with the ghouls here, man. It is just too good. You get rid of the full board, 1 card in hand. We know it's a really good card, but Ek0p doesn't know what the card is.
So yeah.
Yeah, there is the double goal as we thought, and you can clear it with the armor smith, but I think you want to keep the armor smith. Well, you can also do it with the Cruel Taskmaster and attack with slime into it to clear, to keep your execute.
I think he wants to possibly save the Cruel Taskmaster for the Grommash on the following in a few turns when he shoots Alex Strausa, but it's
but he doesn't really have to go for the win condition already, like.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's just a good keep, like, it's always a good keep against the hunter. So I totally agree. That was the play we said, like, just killing it. I'll get also 1 extra armor, it's totally fine. Yeah,
I'm not sure about. I think maybe going face there would have been better, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Powder has to clear the board now. Just, well, he can. No, nothing
Starving Buzzard. That's a
then
really nice
he needs a snake trap for that. Then he gets value out of the Buzzard. Like, after the nerf, the Blizzard feels so weak, and the only really good way to still get a good Buzzard off is most likely with a snake trap on the board. Oh, what is he? Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Then he.
I mean, they both die anyway.
Yeah, they both die anyway.
So
but man, look at armor from Ek0p, man. Wow.
Oh, 16 armor.
He's just at 30 lives almost back. It's just nothing happened this game, and we were talking about that he was at 30 lives, and Ek0p is like, yeah, I'm just back at where I started.
I think, I mean, can Powder possibly do anything against an Alexstrasza Grommash on the following turn? I'm not sure he can.
Now he needs that Houndmaster maybe. If he draws an Houndmaster, he has a Taunt on the board, but.
Yeah, it's true. But so many big targets though. On the following, we see Starving Buzzard. There's nothing.
Yeah, he's thinking. Yeah, well, 3/2, 5 mana, man.
He can attack with the Savannah though, possibly.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Oh yeah, then he draws 2 cards. But yeah, what do you want to draw now?
How cool would the Hunter Rhino be now if he actually had that?
Yeah,
that would be too good here. But we see nothing on. And looks like we're gonna go into game 3 here.
He needed an Unleash, and Unleash will be an okay move too. Yeah, we see already, like, he sees only 9 damage on the board, but we know he has the Grommash with the trigger, the Cruel Taskmaster, so. Yeah, really well played.
By both players here.
Yeah.
Kind of god draws for Ek0p.
Yeah, and there was a bit of a slow start for Powder. Like, he didn't have a 1-drop. finally he drew into the mad scientist, but even with the mad scientist, he never had a really good board, and Ek0p just he was a bit.
He's got it every single Ek0p matchup now. I think 4 or 5 now out of this in this tournament, so it's been looking really good. But we see Powder's second deck being a rogue here, Violet Teacher rogue. This is interesting. Do you think he runs a Belcher in this one?
Well, I don't know. It is possible. It is possible, but is it like an anti-aggro deck then? I think he goes. You also want to play Azure. Like the 5 spot is always a bit rough for the Miracle. You want to play your Gadgets in. Some people want to play still the Azure Drakes. It is a bit. You don't see it that often anymore, and some people trying Belchers. I'm wondering. I actually have no idea if he plays. If he will play Belchers in this.
Yeah, this comes a lot down to the huge AoEs, obviously the Violet Teachers and all of the apprentices. It really comes down to that a lot. I think with a double brawl, Ek0p is in a good position in this matchup.
It is interesting that he kept the Violet Teacher in the starting end. It is a card that it just 5 HP. It's really okay and good against the weapon from the warrior. So, and there is the Gadgets in.
Money draw there.
Yeah, like that's the card that there's the Miracle always looking for, especially in this control matchups. If you play against aggro decks, you're sometimes more looking for the SI7s, the backstabs, the poisons, but in these matchups you can just mulligan full away for the Gadgets.
But even a bigger draw for Ek0p drawing that brawl here. We see a shield block coming down. It's surprising to see the shield block, but I mean, I guess Ek0p was quite desperate for a 4-drop.
Yeah,
he did end up drawing.
He needed to cycle a bit, and he has so many 5-drops. He really wanted a 4-drop, I think. You can even play the weapon just out now, just to have the 5, so you can play a 5-drop next turn. I totally agree with this turn. Like, you want to stack armor maybe against the Miracle Rogue, but this is just way better.
I did play this matchup here against Fresca in the Prismata Cup playoffs, and he actually did end up winning that with this Violet Teacher. But it comes a lot down to the brawl, it comes a lot down to how fast the warrior deck is running. And
yeah, but it's a bit a bad start for Ek0p. Like you wanted to turn to Armor Smith or turn to Acolyte to draw more in your decks, and just the first 2 turns was just an armor up and a shield block. What was really weak, and we know already that like Powder has some really powerful turns incoming with the Gadgets and the coin in hand. Like he's looking for his preps now or for the conceal, but
I'm not sure what I think about the shield block here and shield slam. I mean the shield slam on this turn compared to Slot Belcher. I think I prefer Slot Belcher actually. I mean,
yeah, but maybe he was really scared for all the what the Violet Teacher can do. Like there can be go a lot of 1-1s on the board, and he didn't have a really good response with the Ghoul or something.
Yeah, I mean that dash bite is really huge. So against those Violet Teachers, I mean clear all the tokens and does 5 damage to the Violet Teacher.
Yeah, as you see, Powder doesn't even want to play the Violet Teacher now. He's a bit scared for the weapon, and most likely Ek0p will trade into the SI7 here and play. I don't think you play Lotep. Like Lotep is the card you have to play into the Gadgets, and
I think with Belcher
it is good because you have a response, so he can't play the Gadgets in this turn. But you need that answer for when it's on the board, when it's in the conceal. Like you have no response into for the conceal.
I do believe this deck actually runs 2 conceals. I think that's the beauty behind it.
Yeah, we see a lot of, like if you play with Violet Teachers, you see a lot of decks that run 2 conceal if you play with the Teachers.
And the thing about this deck, it looks a lot more scary than it is, you know, because you see those 5 minions on the board, but a lot of them are 1-1s. They don't. It's not that fast, you know, but you actually have to deal with them.
Okay, and there is the first Belcher, and the Belcher is always a really hard minion for the Miracle to deal with. You have to, like the Miracle really relies on the spells, and you have to play a lot of spells for a Belcher to really kill it off. So it is a bit rough, and yeah, he has the Gadgets, but he just doesn't have the really good follow-up with a conceal or with a prep. Like he's really considering. Also, yeah, he's really considering if he plays it this turn or just waits 1 or 2 turns smarts.
I don't know. I kind of like the sap here with a Violet Teacher into something, but it's really.
The fish rate is really good, but then you have to play a minion first.
I mean, think about it. Like, what would be a better sap target here? Like, I think there's not many that would be better than the Slot Belcher.
Yeah, but you want to keep the sap maybe for the second Belcher or for. Like if you play the sap now, it just comes back the next turn, so it feels really bad.
Yeah, it's true.
I should trade with the Blood Mage to draw into your conceal or prep. Oh, and there is a prep. Wow.
Yeah. So we're probably gonna see the guys from the following turn.
Yeah, there's no way he's gonna wait one turn more. Like, that is just the time when you have to play your gadgets. And but Ek0p has responses with a brawl, with a low tap there, so
absolutely. Yeah.
Ek0p still has a really good response. Is
I
he not
wonder
going to kill the SI7 here?
I think probably not, but he could fire a War Execute as well, so I think it's both possible here, but it looks like he's not going to go for it.
So yeah, the SI7 is not really scary. He still has to use his removal into the /Belcher first. Yeah, and there it goes, man.
Start with a coin, I think.
Yeah, always start with the coin. You have to prep. Yeah, I think you just go with the prep sap here, like cycle in your deck. It's a really good target to sap.
That eviscerate, yeah. I wonder if he'll actually weapon up.
He's still, yeah. He is still looking for his conceal, I think, but yeah, no conceal yet.
I think he has to weapon. Sure.
Okay, he goes for the I don't think Powder is really happy with the draws he gets from the gadgets, and he was. You could see, but because he played the eviscerate as the last one, he was still looking for that conceal. That means that he probably plays double conceal. He was really looking for it.
Maybe he's kind of regretting being that liberal with his 1-1 weapons, you know. Because he had two of them, two charges, but he went with them both to face here.
Okay, Ek0p has some good responses now. He has the low tap in the hand, he has the brawl. He even can trade just with the weapon. I will just go with the weapon, like, low tap is always good, the man's miracle, you can always keep it. Seems like that he's gonna execute this, and I totally agree with this. Like,
what do you think about the possibility of killing the Gadison with a weapon and going for a /Belcher on the following? Because now, I mean,
and not killing the SI7, you mean?
Yeah, keeping the SI7 up, but getting the tempo again. I mean, he can weapon up in armor, but Belcher is much stronger than weapon up armor, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But it's rough.
Yeah.
So Azure Drake and Deadly Poison probably coming down here, I think. But all the other.
Are you gonna use Deadly Poison for this Acolyte?
I think it's the way to go, yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise it's with a weapon. Like, we see the Fire Warwick out. Otherwise it's just a really easy trade for him to make into the Azure Drake.
But it's very even now at the moment. It will come down a lot to the Gadison here on the following. But wow, he's gonna go for face.
Go for the face attack. Wow.
What would you hit here if you were Powder?
I don't know. Now Ek0p gets lower if he makes the trade into the Azure Drake with the weapon. But yeah, I think you really want to clear that Acolyte. Otherwise he had to use a removal spell for the Azure Drake. But you want to kill an Azure Drake against the Miracle Rogue. He has so many spells, so many spell power. You have to kill it.
Yeah, we also haven't seen a Cruel Taskmaster from Ek0p. So, I mean, Powder must realize it's a possibility, and we do see it now coming down.
Oh yeah, sure. There's the Cruel Taskmaster. Now Powder probably feels a bit bad that he didn't kill it off.
Yeah. I wonder what he'll do with if he will play the ghoul or not. I mean,
I think you attack first, like, and then see what you get. Maybe you get something what is really good for this, and I still think you go with weapon charts and just play your Belcher.
And a Ragnarok, that's absolutely like a huge draw here for Ek0p.
Not only the Belcher is really good, but also with the Armor Smith out, it makes it so much stronger. The Miracle has to deal with it, and he gets only more and more armor, like. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't want to be spending 8 damage on that.
Ah, there is the conceal. That is what you want to see earlier, man. But
will he be forced to Deadly Poison Blitzler here? I think he may.
I think that, yeah. it's the best. It is one of the best plays you can make now. He doesn't have any spell power on the board, so he has probably to use a second Deadly Poison, what is a bit painful. Is he not going for? Is he gonna conceal here? Just.
I mean, there's gonna be
wait one turn.
There's gonna be too much armor coming up. I'm confused by this. I mean, he will get more value out of the next turn, and this kind of does
there's not way more armor coming up because the armor will come up this turn or it will come up next turn. So
yeah,
that doesn't make that much sense. Maybe he's still considering the set next turn on the Belcher and go face when like he has a lot of birds with the Leroy, with the Cold Blood, with the Deadly Poison. I think he's maybe probably also looking for the win condition here.
Yeah. I mean, he could possibly sap the Belcher here and just try to, you know, shirk him down here. But
oh, I like this play from Ek0p, man. He's going for a low tap, and I think it's the right call. Of course, you want to keep your low tap maybe for the gadget send, but you saw already one gadget send used, and with this board out, it's what can you do if you can't use your spells? The best thing a Miracle can do is play one of the minions that he almost doesn't play, like an Azure Drake maybe, and wow, look this port, man.
I mean, yeah, thinking about it, like the tokens kind of ruin the Ragnaros. I mean, there's not a lot of good targets. You want to be hitting for 8 for phase and putting a lot of pressure on, but that ghoul, yeah, this is a really rough position. I mean, Ek0p must figure that.
Oh, and as we saw, man, there he plays with double conceal. Yeah.
Not surprising at all. But
you can conceal again and hope that you can play your other spells the next turn. But man, that's not a good spot. Also, you have to consider that Ek0p has a lot of damage now on board too. So maybe you have to start trading in the minions, but the armor will stack so much. And
I think there's no option. Yeah, I think you have to conceal and then kill everything at once so you don't get the double AoE from the ghoul. But I mean, it's a bit rough here. We see Powder, going for a kind of a stance play, concealing on the Violent Teacher, so he has to be up to something, and Ek0p, figures this out and plays perfectly against it. But I don't know. I think I would just conceal him and pass the turn here. I mean, giving him one extra armor here, I don't know why. Like,
what is Powder thinking now? Does he want to go for the Blade Fury maybe?
He has to go. I think he has. His best course of action here is to go for the Conceal, Deadly Poison, Blade Flurry on the following turn.
Yeah, but if he trades with the 1/1 into the Belcher, and then Blade Fury, like everything gets 3 damage, but also the Ghoul will kill the own Armor Smith and the own Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, for an insane amount of armor, and he really can't afford all that armor, so I think Conceal and waiting for the next turn is the best way to go.
But maybe he thinks he can win with the board control game.
But
yeah, he has to attack first.
It will leave so much up though.
Yeah, nah, it will kill the Armor Smith, it will kill the Belcher. You trade into the Slime with one of your minions, and you can trade into low tap with your hero power even. Yeah. Because he used the Blade Fury. He has to do it fast. Oh, the Belcher. Is the Slime coming right in time? Oh man, panic mode. Oh man, oh wow, and he missed the attack, wow.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And Ek0p with a BM.
Yeah, wow.
What do you think about like squelching in a game or in a tournament or not? Like, do you do that in a tournament? Do you leave it up?
Yeah, well, I think that it's just how some people like to BM and make the other player feeling a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is something you can argue about. But
I mean, it's kind of tactical, like how I think about it. Like it gives it gives your opponent possibilities of kind of messing with you and giving you false information and stuff. Because I mean, it's very unlikely they're actually going to give you viable information. So I don't know. I sometimes do it. Probably like online I don't really care, but yeah.
Yeah, but man, it makes so much sense that the low tap is still on board. Like he could make a really good trade with the hero power, and now he's now it can just kill the Violet Teacher. What just makes it for Ek0p so much better. Like I still think Ek0p was ahead, but even with this move, like it will be really hard for Powder to really make a move. Maybe he has to go just for a Leor Conceal next turn. Like we'll go with the Leor, go with the Cold Blood, and
I think he's
just pray for a no answer.
I think he has to go Rag here and
Rag is like Rag is one of the minions that is just good against the Miracle because if it saps, it still gets 8 damage out, and if you play like an Sylvanas, it looks good, but oh, what
I mean, having played, wow, interesting.
Okay, he doesn't go for the Rag. Maybe he wants just to play 2 minions out, so he's not really in the range of a sap. Ooh,
wow, what a draw there.
That was the only card that can get him back into the game, I think. He goes with it. You have to go with the gadgets and go into the Conceal, see what you draw. There's still 1 prep in the deck, so
I think the only possibility here is like, do you go for the Deadly Poison first, or do you go for the gadgets first here?
I think you mean that you are scared to draw too many cards now, or
possibly. And you also take damage on the gadgets, from the AoE with the Ghoul. It's
yeah, but do you care for it if it's in a Conceal form?
Probably not.
No, and you have to draw cards. I think you play the Conceal first. Now maybe you get into the prep, and then you can play your Fan of Knives.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you don't want to sap now. You can, yeah. I will just Fan of Knives. Hope for a good draw now, but I wonder if he has enough win condition left. We see the Leroy, we see like he runs double Cold Blood.
I haven't seen a single. I don't think you Cold Blood here.
No,
it's just asking to be brawled here, but I think you absolutely trade into the Ghoul there. Yeah, he's gonna do that. But with the low tap on the following turn, how many cards does he have? It looks like he has like 3 or 4 cards left, and I think of those cards...
He had 9 cards before he played the gadgets, and that's what I saw, so I think he has a bit more, probably around 5 or 6.
So he drew a Cold Blood, Loatheb, Edwin, and...
Yeah, there's the immediately rag response, yeah. It's just the best play. Even if it's hits Fanes, it's still okay. It's not what you want. You want to kill a gadgets, and then you have the game. But yeah, otherwise, okay.
Ek0p will save.
And yeah, Powder is still in the game now. Like if it killed the gadgets, then it was over, I think. But Powder has to be careful, play carefully now with the draws. He doesn't have much cards left in the deck.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's no more conceal now. He's all out of that.
How much damage does he have? Like Leroy, double Cold Blood, it's 10, 14, 18, 21. So it is really close. But I think he needs one more turn. You go with your 4 cards in the deck left, 4 cards, so he has to sap, I think that's no question. And then maybe go with an low tap and with an Edwin and pray that the Ragnaros just hits badly. Like you can go for a shift to
I mean, he knows that there's no more taunts upcoming.
Backstab. Did he even play another backstab? I think he has another backstab in his deck left, right?
Yeah, I believe there's not two shadow steps left now. But he doesn't want to take him further than 15. And I'm not. I think the Loatheb is good here, but he's kind of have to pray for luck here. I wonder how many cards he has left, because he wants to draw some cards.
Yeah, he has I think 2 cards left. Okay, he's even going face. Like, yeah, I totally agree at that point. You know, you have your win condition is really small, so you have to go with the risky plays now and go.
You're gonna see a brawl here from Ek0p, definitely. I mean.
You can also go for a rag.
But it's risky. I mean, if he hits face there,
if you fire Rorax the face and you clear with no, then there is still.
It's 1 in 3, you know. And
yeah, and 1 is 3, and in the worst situation, it kills 5/5. What is really good.
Yeah, but then you have like 19 health left, and it's really rough. You know, 19 health left with a 6/6 on board. That's 13 health. He must figure there's a Leroy and Cold Bloods, 2 Cold Bloods left at least. So. I think Brawl is the only way to go here. Brawl and Hero Power. No wait.
Yeah, I wonder if Ek0p knows. I wonder if Ek0p knows what he's facing. Like we saw all the standard Miracle, but there are a lot of decks without Leroy or without even Cold Blood. So I wonder if he knows like how much words there is in the hand of Powder at the moment.
I mean, if we think about this though, like if he brawls, there's only one scenario where he's getting rid of all of them, and any of them staying alive would be a disaster, I guess. So maybe you are right. Maybe Rag. Fire Warlocks is the only way to go here, and he's gonna have to just take the 1 and 3.
Yeah.
But I think if Ek0p doesn't hit this and loses this game, it'll be
but it'll still
crushing.
kill the 5/5. So there will, in the worst situation, there will be an Edwin on the board.
But we see though that it will be lethal though.
Yeah.
On the following, so we see a trade here, 1 in 3. What does Ek0p hit?
Ooh, yeah. And Powder sees it already, man. He sees it.
And I think now, honestly, like. A good strategy now would actually be to BM Ek0p, because it will mess him up mentally. I think Ek0p feels he's almost done.
Wow. Wow, I didn't saw it coming actually. I thought that Ek0p was really ahead in this game, and especially when we saw all the armor getting... Oh, well.
So he's really...
What is his answer now? He has Mage and Warlock left, right?
Yeah, yeah. But he goes for the Mage here.
Okay, yeah, we see that he picked the Mage then.
I mean, for
me, it is a freeze mage, right? Yeah, it is a freeze mage, and I think the freeze mage is favored in this matchup with the. I feel like this freeze mage is at least favored in this matchup with the ice blocks that you have, and you can steal really the game really hard. How do you feel? Do you feel it's favored in the for the mage, or?
I think it's pretty close. I think I'd slightly prefer to be in the mage position, you know, but it depends a lot on the conceal and the AoE and stuff. But for this. Violet Teacher, I would rather play the mage for sure, but it's a tiny bit slower than the hyped aggressive one with Cold Blood and stuff. Because Cold Light Oracles, I mean the Cold Light Oracles can kind of mess up with the mage, but this one doesn't run that. So, I mean, we see Ek0p insta queuing for the next game, you know, and that's something you usually do when you're feeling upset and just want to get it over with it, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe, but
we do see a good start for him at least.
Okay, now. As always, the Miracle. Oh, well, the Miracle is just looking for the gadgets, and now like he has the conceal now, but he didn't at the game before. But yeah, he needs his like if you want to win this game, I feel like you really have to have an early gadgets. And I played this matchup also a bit, but more from the freeze mage perspective.
Yeah.
But this matchup can also go really to Fatty Q, where if you draw the gadgets and really late, you can just leave it on the board as the freeze mage, just freeze it. And he is afforded to not playing spells, because otherwise it can just get him out of the cards.
Yeah, I mean, like, not everyone actually runs to the Flame Strike, and for 7 mana to kill a 4 health minion, it's probably the best trade there. I mean, you don't want to be blowing a fireball there. It's kind of interesting with this. Would you actually, if you draw a 3-drop on turn 3, would you actually go for it? But we see a Gadgetzan coming, a Violet Teacher.
Yeah.
Oof, this is looking rough for Ek0p here.
Yeah. The next turn, man. Gadgetzan coin conceal. I wonder how Ek0p will respond to that, but like Ek0p even have a really bad start. You want a Mad Scientist. Oh, we see that he draws a Mad Scientist now. It's one of the cards you want, especially in a bit slower matchup. You want early to just get a free trap out. Like he played an Ice Barrier on turn 3, but yeah, if you have the Mad Scientist early, it's just a free 3 mana card on the board.
I mean, we also see like Ek0p seeing that coin conceal. I want to see his, you know, what his facial expression is when he sees this, because
he should attack first.
Yeah, absolutely attack first.
Attack first. You want to kill the Mad Scientist. Oh, he's not killing it actually.
Interesting, very interesting there.
Well, there's actually, if I think about it, there's not a really reason to attack into the Mad Scientist. I think it gives him a trap, but also, besides from that, it is also you want to get rid of the armor a bit. You have to push a bit more for damage, and now he like if he draws a backstab, it's like a finally target. And that is what I mean, like how much card he has 2, 4, 6, 8 cards, 9 cards now. Like you want to cycle now, but
he's not getting any damage in as well, you know. And at 23, Ek0p is, you know, he's lower than he'd want to be. Powder is lower than he want to be. I mean, you want to be at 30, denying those minions so easily. I mean, just the backstab here would be quite strong. I don't know. How do you feel about Deadly Poison? I mean, it's not the most efficient way to kill the Mad Scientist.
Yeah, that was why it was maybe better to kill it last turn. You had a good play for it with just attacking with the Violet Teacher. Yeah, I think you're gonna cycle a bit more. It feels a bit weak to play a 4/4 Edwin against a Freeze Mage with a next turn Flame Strike incoming. Possible, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I think every Freeze Mage plays at least one Flame Strike. We see the hype version, what is really popular also in this tournament, with what plays one Flame Strike. And you see the the other one that was from what Radu and Forsen used at the Fire game with the Belchers.
Yeah, the duplicate Belcher. That's been doing very well, especially in the mirror, the Freeze Mage mirror.
Ooh, there's also still a prep. Do you use it? He has so many cards already.
I think you do use it because you really want to build up a lot of apprentices between the.
He has to choose now. Okay.
He doesn't go for it, but we want to build up a lot of like apprentices between the Gadgetzan and the Violet Teacher, so you can Cone of Cold them both. Because now technically he could, you know, hero powered fade it in one and use the Cone of Cold on both of them, which we're probably going to see. I wonder if he'll follow it up with a Doomsayer and Mirror Entity here. Be interesting to see. I think it's probably the best play in the position, but things looking rough for Ek0p. There's not. I mean, after this done.
Yeah, all the like the position that Powder has with the minions is really good. With the opponent plays double Cone of Cold and he plays all the 1/1s in the middle, so you play really around that. But it's really good. Like if you get the Violet Teacher and Gadgetzan behind each other, then he could make a good Cone of Cold. But now
he just trade into the Gadgetzan. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. Sees what secret is.
Well, we saw already one Ice Barrier, so we know it's most likely an Ice Block or the second Ice Barrier. He doesn't play with duplicate, if I'm right.
But yeah, now we do see. You're thinking really hard about it if you should actually go for the Cone of Cold Doomsayer here. I'm not sure about the Doomsayer, but we're definitely going to see the Cone of Cold, I believe.
We know Powder has a 5/2 weapon out, so there. He will kill it. I think there is, like, the Doomsayer will get killed. Ek0p knows that, but it still takes 7 damage, but it's already really good.
Yeah, I mean, sapping that is not what you really want to be doing as Powder.
Oh, he even plays... Okay, so he really wants to see a Blade Fury now, or that the board just gets cleaned. There's the backstab, man. You wanted that one turn earlier.
Absolutely, yeah. Do we see the sap here?
I think we see the Fan of Knives. It just clears the whole board. And you attack with your weapon.
Wow, okay, so we're looking at something pretty huge here. I mean,
I think the Edwin will come out. I think that's just I think that's the right move. Like the Fan of Knives into the mirror image is a really good move, and he can even sap it. But I think There's no reason to. I agree with the play, but just clearing it with weapon, play your Edwin.
I mean, I do believe the sap is you know, more less valuable than the 5 damage of the weapon. So I'm not sure about the Shiv. Maybe he's trying to conceal, which would be huge here, but I think he may even want to backstab his own minion. I think that would actually be strong here.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Like, he has double backstab. What are you gonna do with double backstab against to make it a 12-12? Yeah, and it will be really hard for Ek0p to. He used one Doomsday now. Like, he really needs the cards like Frost Nova now to just stall the game a bit. And we see that, like, we saw that it was the second Ice Barrier, so he still doesn't have any ice blocks out.
Not at all. So this is getting very scary for him. He goes to the Arcane Intellect. He could.
Yeah, he needs to draw into something. Like, he doesn't have. Okay, there's the ice block, but
second fireball doesn't do much good. But he's getting close. I mean, he's 8 of lethal here with a burst. But I mean, I think we're gonna see a Frostbolt on the Edwin and probably an ice block or Luke Torror coming up here. I wonder what he'll go for. I think maybe the Luke Torror is the better
like
play.
Even killing a 1-1 doesn't feels a bit bad. You know that there will be a 1-1 next turn again.
Yeah, for sure. I think like he's more desperate about trying to draw a Blood Blizzard or a Flamestruck or something to really deal with this Edwin, because this can't go on. He can't be having, you know, a huge board every single turn.
He has a lot of burst with in hand now, but yeah, it's just not enough. And the Alexstrasza, it feels like it will come too late at least. Maybe he has to go for an Alexstrasza. Like, it's not likely that like Powder can push a lot for damage now, but it's not likely that he get rid of the ice block already with 35.
Yeah, I mean,
HP.
we do see, like, if he doesn't Frostbolt the Edwin, Powder will be able to pop the ice block, and then it's just disaster for Ek0p. He'll have to defensively Alexstrasza, and maybe it'll be game over at that point, because he can't really deal with the board. So I think we'll have to see a Frostbolt here. He's thinking about it, you know, for a long time though.
I don't know, like Frostbolt, it is one of your, it is maybe your only win condition. So
yeah, definitely, it's and this is his last game in the tournament, so he's really desperate in this situation. So I think he has to do it though. Ek0p knows that there's no way that, you know, I mean, it's 17, 18, you know, 23 in just on the board, and with
yeah,
the
but if he can just Alexstrasza next turn, he has 15 damage in hand with a double fireball Frostbolt. So I will just, I don't know why you ping for one.
It's just like he's taking a risk here. But we do see that he does have an
attack first. No, attack first, Powder. Oh, okay, so he misses 1 damage now by using the backstep first.
He's going for the Leroy. Did he actually need the Leroy? He had what was it, 23 with 2 cold bloods, you know, 31. He had 32 on the board. So I guess
it's not lethal, right?
He has to go double cold blood and SS7 for the lethal.
Yeah.
But of course we do see an ice block, so it's not going to be completely lethal. But
you put all your damage into the ice block. We know it's the right play because Ek0p called just Alexstrasza next turn, and he had 15 damage in hand.
I don't see.
I don't know. I will maybe. Nah, it's good to use your cold bloods on the 2 HP minions. Otherwise, it's a free ping.
But I don't know. I kind of do believe that he should have gone for the cold blood instead of the Leroy. He could have gone double cold blood SS7, you know, instead. But maybe actually saving the backstab for a possible clear is the way to go. Maybe that's what I was thinking here.
But yeah, he puts him on 1 HP now. The clock is on. Yeah, Ek0p. Yeah, you see that Ek0p's face. He's desperate. Like, he knew that he had the win condition, but Powder had all the damage in the hand, and he could pop the block this turn already. And look at this board, man. It's 7-2 and 10-2 and 10-9. How can you get rid of that, man? Yeah, he has to go for the Nova again.
Ek0p is deciding, and you know he knows it's over at this point. There's no possibility except maybe a Deathwing coming out of that. But
well, if he has if he draw, nah.
So this is just so rough.
Novic Engineer.
I mean,
get into an ice block, loot harder, ping it, and draw a Frost Nova. No. The weapon is like he's also at 1 HP, so it's even the weapon from the Miracle that can already just trade the board or pop the ice block. And with double saps, yeah, he has all the responses he needs. Yeah, he's drawing for card, but Ek0p knows already that it will be.
And the Flamestruck, I mean, it doesn't do many.
Nah, it doesn't. It's just not enough. And even if it would clear the board, there was still the hero power from the rogue. But you'll just.
He has to, yeah.
Yeah, and Ek0p sees it. It's over.
Powder winning 3-1 here.
3-0 with Miracle, right?
We see Ek0p very, like, definitely not happy with this.